Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we are diving into one of the most surprising and emotional stories that combines drama, social power dynamics, and a millionaire's unexpected reaction. The story is titled, "She Forced the Pregnant Maid to Sing at Her Wedding." The millionaire's reaction stunned all. At first glance, it might sound like a typical tale of mistreatment, but what unfolds is far more complex and layered. We're going to break this down using a framework you're familiar with: exterior, interior, performance, safety features, unique selling points, price, and finally, a conclusion that wraps everything together. When it comes to the exterior, the story begins with the extravagant setting of a luxurious wedding. Everything about the exterior details radiates wealth and status: the designer gowns, the sparkling chandeliers, the carefully arranged floral displays, and the flawless presentation that screams prestige. The bride, who holds herself high with elegance, becomes the central figure commanding attention. But behind the glittering facade of this perfect event lies a darker undertone. Among the guests and staff, there is a visibly pregnant maid, dressed in the traditional uniform of her role, who stands out not because she belongs, but because she doesn't. The contrast between the glamorous exterior and the maid situation immediately sets the stage for conflict and tension. Viewers can already sense that something powerful is about to happen. Moving inside to the interior, we see the heart of the story lies not in the shining ballroom, but in the relationships between people. This interior is emotional rather than physical. It's about power, vulnerability, pride, and unexpected courage. The pregnant maid, despite being forced into the spotlight, carries herself with quiet dignity. The bride, on the other hand, reveals arrogance and a need to humiliate. The interior space here is not long or complicated, but it highlights how the clash between pride and humility plays out in front of an audience that is about to witness something shocking. Shifting to performance, the key moment is when the maid is ordered to sing at the wedding. For the bride, this was meant to be a cruel act, a way to embarrass and showcase superiority. But instead, the performance becomes transformative. The maid, though hesitant at first, delivers a song that is filled with raw emotion and depth. Her voice is not just a melody but a vessel of her personal struggles, her strength, and her resilience. The performance stuns the entire room. What was supposed to be humiliating becomes breathtaking, and the millionaire, who is central to the story, reacts in a way no one expected. His stunned silence, followed by admiration and even respect, shifts the balance of power entirely. Performance, in this context, becomes a weapon of truth. Now, let's talk about safety features, which in storytelling terms are the moral safeguards and lessons embedded in the narrative. This story highlights how cruelty and arrogance often backfire. The so-called safety feature is the built-in justice system of human empathy and dignity. The maid may not have wealth, status, or protection, but her honesty and talent act as her shield. On the flip side, the bride, despite her external power, loses credibility and respect in front of her guests because she allowed arrogance to blind her. The millionaire's reaction reinforces the safety feature. Real worth is not in riches or titles but in authenticity and heart. In many ways, the story reassures viewers that cruelty will never go unchecked. There is always a safeguard in the form of truth being revealed. When we analyze the unique selling points of this story, it becomes clear why it has captured so much attention. First, it blends drama with redemption. Audiences are drawn to situations where the underdog rises above. Second, the emotional power of music is showcased as more than just entertainment, it becomes a voice of justice. Third, the twist of the millionaire's stunned reaction adds a layer of unpredictability. Instead of siding with his social equal, he is moved by sincerity. These unique points make the story stand out among countless tales of inequality, as it carries both shock value and a satisfying moral payoff. On the subject of price, it's not about money in this context, but about the cost of actions and choices. For the bride, the price of her arrogance is the loss of face in front of everyone who mattered to her. She paid with her dignity, as her plan to humiliate ended up exposing her own flaws. For the maid, the price was the emotional risk of standing in front of so many powerful people while carrying the weight of her pregnancy and vulnerability. Yet in paying that price, she gained something invaluable. Recognition, respect, and perhaps a turning point in her life. The millionaire's reaction showed that sometimes the price of courage leads to rewards far beyond what anyone expected. Finally, in the conclusion, this story teaches us more than just a lesson about wealth and humility. It demonstrates the unpredictability of life and the hidden strength within those who are underestimated. The exterior might show glitter, gold, and power, but the interior reveals truth, dignity, and resilience. Performance can turn the tables, safety features reassure us that justice has its way, and the unique selling points remind us why these stories resonate deeply with audiences everywhere. The price, as always, is a reminder that choices have consequences, and those who try to bring others down often end up falling themselves. So, in wrapping up, she forced the pregnant maid to sing at her wedding. The millionaire's reaction stunned all, is not just a dramatic title. It's a story layered with lessons, emotions, and surprising turns. It's a reminder that respect cannot be bought, and authenticity cannot be silenced. Thank you for watching, and as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful breakdowns of stories that inspire, shock, and move us.